were going up here to the top of the mountain, and because it's there was a banner over the road saying no entry to heavy vehicles. I was going to make the joke that because I was in the vehicle, that made it qualify as being a heavy vehicle, but I had already made the joke before. Earlier today, the travel agent had originally been iffy about whether I should go paragliding or not because she thought I was too fat. So they said that because I was heavier, that they had a special pilot of the paraglide who was supposedly much more skillful, and he was the only one who could do it. So he charged more. So therefore, I had to pay a higher rate to get him. And then, but she had said maybe you should go on an ultralight instead. So they contacted the ultralight people, who replied that the maximum weight for a passenger in the ultralight would be 105 kilos. Since I was somewhere between 111 and 115, they said no cigar. So then the travel agent said, well, in that case, since you can't go in the ultralight, then I guess you better go paragliding. Now, under ordinary circumstances, I would be thinking that the travel agent was willing to endanger my health or my life just as long as she got her payment in advance. But this particular travel agent is lowering the price out of friendship and not taking her commission. And so that's not the motivation. So I said she's not sending me to my death for the sake of money. She's sending me to my death for the sake of friendship. So that was the big joke. But anyway, here we are going up to the mountain and for this paragliding. I went paragliding up here before with Brother Michael McKinley of Michigan, professor of biology, department chair at West Shore Community College in Michigan. Good friend, and he was here teaching about creation and evolution, and he made this trip. I had gone with him on a trip in India before, and that trip had been bird watching and at a national park, and also at neighboring historical places. This was his second trip to Delhi, because the first trip he had done the standard, let's go to Agra and see the Taj Mahal thing. And so then on his second trip we went to this other, and I didn't even know he was a bird watcher, but I knew as a naturalist he would be interested in that generally, but I didn't know that was a specific interest for him, so it worked out very, very well. We took on that trip Gogu, who was from Manipur and who was a person I respected and liked as being someone who was willing to stand up for what was right, even if he had to stand alone. And I took him on that trip. He said he was more interested in animals, but when he got out there, we saw the birds as well. And of course, as far as animals are concerned, he got to see a 30-foot python. I posted a picture of that 30-foot python traveling along, but I could not fit the whole python into one frame, so I had a picture of him going by. And then a man from Nepal said, I don't think that's a 30-foot python. And his remark was so totally ignorant, because we were there and we saw the snake. He took this video personally, and he was just seeing a little video clip and doubting our word about this, as if he knew more about it than we did, and which is discovered since is quite typical of him. Thinks he knows everything about everything, even when he is closer to being the opposite. Anyway, here we are up near the top of the hill, and you can see there's a hotel back there that's a Belgian hotel. And this kind of thing frequently happens when somebody from another country marries a local. So they take that person's expertise or familiarity with their home country and use that to try to attract the people coming in. And you see all kinds of that, because the Nepali people are very good at this friendship, and Nepali people are often more easygoing than some people in some more aggressive flatland areas. And so they make these good friendships, which tend to stick together. And it's yes, there will be exceptions, but I'm speaking in general terms. It's a nice, clear day, and we're very happy about that. And of course, that's why we're going today, because who knows what the weather will be like next week. I'll be here for a week, but weather could turn bad, and so we want to take advantage of this while we can. Can't take the flight to Tromsø. It's out. I don't know if it's out because of COVID or just over the winter season. I think probably the winter has a lot to do with it, because the flight to Tromsø involves going in the gap between the mountains to cross the crest of the Himalayas to the other side, and so that would simply be too cold, too dangerous, too icy than this. He's telling us to get away, get back. So this vehicle that I'm in is full of pilots, and I said, if you're all pilots, where are the customers? Where are the other customers? They said they're already up there. This seems to be a considerable lineup of people going up this hill for the fact that COVID has cut the tourist traffic way down. I've been up here before. When I was up here before, there were at least 15, maybe 20 paragliders going off at the same time. And I don't know what it will be like today, because I thought it would be less than this. I thought the traffic would be less than this on this road. Of course, obviously, some of the traffic could be things that have nothing to do with what we're doing, and just be local traveling. But I do love Nepal very, very much, and I know a lot of other people who come up to the Himalayas fall in love with this. I was personally born in a hill station of India, but that was far south. That was Kodikano, which was the only American hill station in the country. All the others were founded by the British. And then the connection of the British with Nepal was due to basically a war. The Nepal king was expanding his kingdom east and west, and fighting local monarchs and taking over local areas. And to the east, he was threatening Sikkim and that area, and to the west, he was invading into the Garhwal and Kumaon area of the Himalayas. So the British fought, and the British defeated them, and it wasn't close, because the British had far better training, far better technology, and they just defeated them. However, the British admired the Gurkha soldiers very much. They said these are really good soldiers, and so they included Gurkha soldiers in the British Army really up until the present day. So that's been going on for 200 years. And there are Gurkha, ex-Gurkhas who I know who now live retired in Britain, because Britain was not paying the Gurkha soldiers nearly at the same level as their other soldiers. And there was a long history of this discrimination. So there was agitation about this, and the result is that the British government, by way of compensation, allowed all the ex-Gurkhas to retire, to emigrate to Britain, which many have done. I know some myself who have done that, and their families. We'll sign off for a moment here and come back.